I'm changing the resistor, or the fuse, which controls the fan speeds in vehicles. This is a 1997 Holden Rodeo, which is made by basically Isuzu. It's a TFS55, but I think they're fairly universal. That's the electrical housing for it there. That's the new resistor, which I think was about $30 Australian. You can see all there. You've got four little silver connectors there. I believe each one of those is a separate, basically a separate fuse for each speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you have a problem with one not working, this is generally the problem, and you just replace the entire thing. Now this is the housing for it here. This is part of the air conditioning or the air blower system. Here, this bit here where my hand is on the left is the this is a left hand. This is on the left hand side of the car. This is a right hand drive vehicle. Underneath here, that's the base of the actual blower fan itself. So you undo, I think, 4 screws. If there's an issue with the fan itself, that drops out. The fan's there. You just replace it as one unit, and and over here right beside it. Now, just before I forget, if you do change these and plug them in, it's tempting to turn it on and see if the fan actually works, because it obviously if the fuse isn't working, the fan won't work. But it does get, I know from experience, the actual resistor gets very hot very quickly. So try not to do that. Put it inside so the fan actually cools it. I don't know whether it would cause any damage, but I remember when I did it once, it got very hot, and when I went to touch it, it was not the best. Now, the base of this video, when we eventually get round to it, is, now I hope that it's going to show in there and focus, but in there you'll see part of the air conditioning system, and at the bottom is a heap of leaf matter. Now, I'm sorry if you can't see it, but in the back there is quite a lot of leaf. This vehicle does not have a cabin filter, or a pollen filter as they call it, and so stuff that comes down from the exterior through the vents gets caught in here. And so a friend of mine actually suggested to me, he said, don't try and, it's hard to get a vacuum cleaner hose in there, so he said just buy a piece of flexible plastic hose. You connect it with a bit of tape to the end of the vacuum cleaner, which is the black bit you can see there, and then that goes in quite easily, fits in here. Now I'm going to turn it on. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Hang on a sec, I've got to do this with my foot. And it works pretty well. Let's turn that off. It's actually got, doing this one-handed isn't much good, but it's actually got quite a lot out just in that short time, and it's best to clean it because you don't want to get it going through the through that little radiator type thing. Now I'm not even going to try and tell you what it is, condenser or something or other. But what I know about these is you could write on a stamp with a large jackhammer. Right. Anyway, hopefully that helps people. It just makes it a little bit easier to get that stuff out, and just keep an eye on that resistor with it getting hot, and hopefully it'll all work for you. That generally is the issue if the fan stops working.